What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we need to talk about one of the absolute greatest, most beautifully chaotic characters in television history, Michael Scott from Recap Universe. Now, we all know Michael is a legendary manager. He's passionate, he cares about his employees, maybe a little too much sometimes, and he honestly believes he is a master of the English language. But if you've watched the show as many times as I have, you know that Michael has a let's say, unique relationship with words. The guy cannot, for the life of him, get a common phrase, idiom, or saying right. And honestly, it is one of the best running gags in the entire series. It's not just that he mispronounces things. It's that he says them with so much absolute confidence that you almost believe he's right. Almost. So today we are breaking down the absolute best, most hilariously wrong things Michael Scott has ever said. If you love The Office as much as I do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and let's dive right into the mind of Michael Scott. Segment 1. The classic idioms. Let's start with the basics. Idioms. These are the everyday sayings that most of us learn growing up. But in Michael's brain, they get completely scrambled. Take ASAP, for example. As soon as possible. Simple, right? Not for Michael. He calls up David Wallace and tells his secretary to have David call him back, ASAP, as possible. Think about that. As soon as possible is possible. It's beautifully redundant. Then there's the time Dwight betrays him. Michael is trying to explain the classic fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me rule. But Michael's version? He says, fool me once, strike one. But fool me twice, strike three. The man completely bypassed strike two. He just went straight to the ejection. But my absolute favorite idiom fail, and honestly one of the most iconic lines in the whole show, happens when Jim comes back from Stanford.
Play it cool and assert dominance, and says, well, how the turntables. And then he just stops. He doesn't even finish with, have turned. Just, how the turntables. It is pure comedic genius. It shows you exactly how his brain works. He starts a sentence with so much energy, and he just hopes he finds the meaning along the way. In fact, he literally admits that in another episode. He says, sometimes I'll start a sentence and I don't even know where it's going. I just hope I find it along the way. Like an improv conversation. Segment 2. The medical and scientific fails. Now, it's one thing to mess up a phrase like, how the tables have turned, but when Michael tries to use medical, legal, or scientific terms, that's when things get truly dangerous. Remember when he hit Meredith with his car? First of all, insane moment. But afterwards, he's trying to explain that they're taking responsibility because he wants to get rid of the curse that hit the office. He looks right at the camera and says, I'm not superstitious, but I am a little studious. Honestly, that kind of makes sense. If super means big, then little studious should mean you're just slightly worried about black cats. It's flawed logic, but it's Michael logic. In that exact same storyline, after he hits Meredith with his company car on company property, he tries to explain to the office that they are completely safe from any legal trouble because of double jeopardy. He thinks that because it happened on company property with company property, it cancels out. When the staff tries to tell him that's not how double jeopardy works, he just blanks. He has no idea what the legal definition is, he just heard it on TV. Oh, and we can't forget his medical diagnoses. When he's calling his ex-girlfriend Donna to tell her he might have an STD, he is terrified. He tells her, I have a disease for which there is no known cure that has been sexually transmitted to me. She's panicking, asking what it is. Michael says, I can't even say it. Oh my God, RPES. He literally tried to spell herpes, and somehow put an I and an O in there. Donna has to stop him and say, are you trying to tell me you have herpes? And how did he come to this realization? He tells her that he was scraping gunk off his wall sockets with a metal fork, gave himself a massive electrical shock, and when he woke up, he had an epiphany. Not an epiphany. An asterisk epiphany asterisk. Segment 3. Business and Workplace Blunders. As a regional manager of a paper company, you'd think Michael would have a handle on basic business terminology, or at least human resources concepts. Nope. When there's an issue in the office, and Jan is yelling at him about a disgruntled employee, Michael completely misinterprets the word. He defends his staff by saying, "Everyone here is extremely gruntled." Because clearly, if disgruntled means unhappy, then gruntled must mean they are absolutely thrilled to be there. And when things go wrong and corporate is looking for someone to blame, Michael doesn't want to be the fall guy. But instead of saying he doesn't want to be a scapegoat, he says he doesn't want to be an scapegoat. Like a goat that escaped from a farm. It's hilarious because he's completely serious. He's fighting for his job, yelling about scapegoats. He also has a tough time with charity. During the iconic Casino Night episode, Michael is explaining why they are hosting a gambling event in the warehouse. He says it's all for charity, and then adds, "I consider myself a great philanderer." Bro, philanthropist. You mean philanthropist? A philanderer is someone who cheats on their partner constantly. Which, ironically, Michael has done, but it's definitely not what he meant when talking about raising money for children in the Congo. Segment 4. The Social and Cultural Misunderstandings. Michael desperately wants to be cultured. He wants to look smart, educated, and progressive. But his execution is always a disaster. Take the wedding speech he gives for Phyllis and Bob Vance. He stands up there, wanting to sound deep, and says, Webster's dictionary defines wedding as the fusing of two metals with a hot torch. Everyone in the room just stares at him. He literally read the definition for welding, not wedding. But instead of realizing his mistake, he doubles down and tells Phyllis and Bob, "I think you two are two metals. Gold medals." Then there's his understanding of history and film. He tries to institute a new policy in the office called prima donna. But he pronounces it prima mana. He explains to the camera, "I believe from the movie Braveheart and confirmed on Wikipedia, it's when the king got to deflower every new bride on her wedding night." He was thinking of prima nocta. But he called it prima mana, and associated it with being a prima donna. When he finally realizes what that actually means, he gets completely grossed out and takes it back. And let's not forget when he tries to sound like he's part of the community. When trying to prove he's progressive, he says, "I watch the L Word. I watch Queer as Fuck. The show is called Queer as Folk, Michael." But he says it with so much confidence, it kills me every time. Outro. At the end of the day, this is exactly why we love Michael Scott. He isn't trying to be malicious, his brain just moves at a different speed. Or, as he famously put it, "My mind is going a mile an hour." Which, if you think about it, is incredibly slow. But to Michael, it sounds fast. His complete lack of awareness mixed with his desperate desire to be loved and sound smart creates the perfect storm for the best malapropisms in TV history. Whether he's talking about early worms getting the worm, calling people scapegoats, or declaring himself a great philanderer, Michael Scott always keeps us laughing. So, what is your absolute favorite Michael Scott phrase fail? Did I miss one that you love? Let me know down in the comments below. Drop your favorite quote, and let's get a conversation going. Don't forget to like this video, share it with a fellow fan of The Office asterisk, and subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming pop culture breakdowns. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.